I will stew about a health problem I've been having for years, truly years before I go talk to a doctor about it. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them and treat almost every condition under the sun. Go to ZocDoc.com/BCC and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/BCC. ZocDoc.com/BCC.
Welcome to the chain. This is the BCC Club with your host Sarah Shower and
Kendahl Landreth.
And this week we're talking about MySpace. Yeah.
I just realized I'm wearing this shirt.
What's wrong
From
with
the character. This is my old lady shirt.
Oh my gosh. We just did a character for, I think, an episode that went out the week prior. Not sure, but this is Kendall's character shirt.
Oh, I'm embarrassed.
Oh my God, a continuity error. Yeah.
We're doing MySpace. I'm sorry. I couldn't stop thinking about how I was wearing this shirt. We're doing MySpace, which is something I'm sure because you're so old, Sarah.
Okay, that's
just kidding.
Don't even. I can joke, but you cannot joke. I am one of those people who, I love making fun of people, but I absolutely cannot take it.
Sarah, but it's not making fun of you because it is. I am making fun of you. I'm making fun of that you think you're old, which is so funny to me because you are so young and you are so close in age to me.
No, I know. If I died right now, you know what the caption, the headline would be?
Young.
Yeah, died so young.
Yes. So that's all I'm saying. That's what I'm making fun of you for because you're not old. You're very, very young.
Okay, thank you.
And you look young. You look younger than me. People always think I'm 40 years old, and it's deeply upsetting.
It's because you play characters who are 40 years old.
And it's scary how quickly I don't need a lot of costuming to look 70 years older. That's what I'll say. No prosthetics. Because I just naturally kind of look that way.
All me.
I did have a MySpace.
You did?
I did have one. I just wasn't very active. And I was kind of the age where it's I wanted it because my sister had it.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any friends who had it because they were all too young to have MySpace. So I was friends with my mom and friends with my sister. And that was it. So I don't know if I didn't have the MySpace experience.
Yeah, this is horrible. The only reason I originally got MySpace in the first place is because I transferred, I moved from South Carolina to Virginia. And there was this absolutely scary man who sat next to me in computer class.
Yeah.
I think he actually later became a... And he was he kept pressuring me every day to start a MySpace.
Yeah.
And I was still super Christian at that time. And I was scared of the internet.
Yeah.
But every day I went to class, he would just be terrifying. And he would be friend me on MySpace. And I was okay, I'll make a MySpace.
Yeah.
And then eventually I got out of that class and I just casually had a MySpace. So I was a very casual user of it.
Yeah.
I got it out of peer pressure from a
Scary man.
gang member. But how was your week other than that?
It was good. Sorry, I have hair on my face. Let me find it, remove it. It was good. I had a great week. I feel I'm finally getting on a work schedule that works for me. And I did post a video this week that it did really well. It got 25 million views.
It was really funny.
Thank you so much. But it is basically it's making fun of people who are homophobic. So it was a video saying my liberal parents when their kid comes out as straight. And it's me and my friend Chaz May, who's a wonderful comedian, both just freaking out that our son is gay and being so disappointed. Our son came out as straight and we're so disappointed and we're so upset and we wish that he was gay. And the first round of people that saw it, when it had 10 million views or whatever, that was people who were all liberal being this is so funny and really showing how crazy it is when parents hate that their kids are gay.
Yeah.
And now the far right has really gotten a hold of it and thinks that we are conservative, which is so funny because we are so gay.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, maybe that's realistic because I've seen a couple really religious couples where I'm you're both the gayest people I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
So maybe they think it's that. But they are, I don't have many articles written about me. I feel in the last couple days, I've had more articles written about me from welovetrump.com, conservativesforever.com. And I'm what is this? And they think that I am conservative and that I'm anti liberal parents.
Yeah.
And they keep saying that this is actually how liberal parents are, which is so funny because that is so like based in no reality.
Yeah.
In any capacity. But this article just came out that I was reading to you, and I want to read it because it is funny to me.
Let's hear it.
It's from welovetrump.com. And it said, which sounds like a fake made up name for like a Nickelodeon TV show website. We Love Trump. They didn't put any thought into that. This is hilarious. As always, humor is only on the side of the right. The left can't meme. The left can't do anything humorous. Why? Because they're just full of hate and anger. They're too busy constantly being offended. Meanwhile, the humor is all with the conservatives, and this is top notch. Which, first of all, that's the full article, which is so funny because that's an article.
Yeah.
That's a journalist.
That was all the words they knew.
It's an article. There's no information in that. It's just like a man ranting. And I really want to find the person who wrote this and be like, the two people in this video are like socialists. So you should fully rethink. Anyways.
It is. I've had that happen. So like both of my parents were in the military. And so I love making fun of like military spouses. I mean, I can tell you everything wrong with the United States military.
Yeah.
And like, so I had this one character that I used to do as like a military spouse. And I would be like, do you know who my husband is? He's like a E1, which is like the lowest enlisted rank ever. And so like I was just acting like this pompous woman who's like, I have, addressed me by my husband's rank. And everyone who initially saw it was like, oh, this is a bit about like, military wives or like spouses. And then there was a bunch of like people who just hated women who like saw the video and were like, oh yeah, I hate women too. This is so funny. And but they were being serious.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I brought in the conservatives.
Yeah, it's
goddamn.
It's always hard when it reaches that. It can go viral, but whenever a video goes too viral, you're like, we've hit the wrong part. Too many people have seen this because now I really do hope, honestly, that Fox News like asks me to. This would never happen, but I could see them showing the clip, and I hope they ask me for an interview, and I will say yes, and then I will go on and be so clearly very gay and just talk about how if I had a kid, I know this is like real. I would like hate if my kid was straight. I think straight people are terrible.
Yeah.
So that happened this week, which was annoying. Well, it actually was annoying. It was great. I don't really mind that stuff. It's just some people are so stupid. You know what I mean? I'm not saying every person who's conservative is stupid by any means, but the people who are commenting on this are truly the stupidest people. I kind of am too, but these people are really, which it's layered and I don't know, whatever, but these people are really stupid where they will just be like, this is how it is. And I'm like, that isn't true. Like that's not based in literally anything. You're just saying that. You just think, and what do you, that is bizarre that you think that, that liberal parents wouldn't accept their straight child. That is so crazy.
Yeah, they're idiots.
Yeah, anyways. How was your week?
It was good. I talked about this on the last podcast, but I did a stand-up show, Neil Brennan, and then I have a show tomorrow, and I need to stand up soon and stretch a little bit because my ass is just, when you've just been sitting and writing and working for so long? Yeah. That I have like, my ass has flattened and all the fat has gone to like up along my stomach. But like, it's just because it's just so crushed. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've been trying to take my dog on a longer walk recently because I am sitting so much for work. So I've tried to do like the morning and night walk are really kind of long. Yeah. But she hates it because she's so small. And so the whole time she's just like turning around and then I have to carry her for most of it. And it's very dramatic. And it's sad because I'm like, I'm trying to be a good dog owner to you, but you just will not have it. Yeah. She just wants to. And anytime I do anything for her, really, this is a whole tangent, but if I wash her bed, I wash her toys, I give her a bath, anything that's like caring, she like is mad at me for a week. Yeah. And I'm like, what she wants is to just sit in a pile of her own shit. Yes. Eating trash. Yes. And have everything be gross around her. And that would be her. And she'd love me. Yes. So I'm going to start doing that. I will stew about a health problem I've been having for years, truly years before I go talk to a doctor about it. I will assess it with all of my friends. I will send photos of my issue in the group chat. For example, currently I have a rash that has been on my arm for about 3 months. And have I asked a doctor about it? Absolutely not, because it is hard to make a doctor's appointment. And honestly, you are extremely unlikely to find quality medical advice in your group chat, but you can find it from a doctor on ZocDoc. Thousands of medical professionals on ZocDoc are there to help you. They listen like a friend and give you the expert care you need. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them and treat almost every condition under the sun. Most of the time when I sit down to make a doctor's appointment, even if it's for an issue that I really need to get checked out, after about an hour and a half of reading reviews from people saying this doctor was the scariest man I've ever met in my entire life, I usually just am like, whatever, I'm not going to see it and hopefully this all rolls over. But with ZocDoc, you have a trusted guide to connect you to your favorite doctor you've ever met. The best doctors in the absolute world. Millions of people use ZocDoc's free app to find and book a doctor in their neighborhood who is patient-reviewed and fits their needs and schedule just right. Go to ZocDoc.com/BCC and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/BCC. ZocDoc.com/BCC. If I lived in the early 2000s and I had my dog right now, I would post her on my MySpace a lot.
Yeah. Oh, and that's such a nice transition.
And this week's episode is about MySpace.
All right, so we're going to tell you about MySpace for everyone. I feel like everyone knows what MySpace is, but like I would say probably, when do you think the cutoff was? Probably like people born in 1997 and before were probably on MySpace?
Yeah. Yep.
Were you on AIM?
No.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So, I'm just going to tell you what MySpace is. MySpace, previously stylized as MySpace and My Blank, is a social networking site that was the most visited social network in the world from 2005 until early 2008.
Wow.
How old were you in 2005?
5.
Damn.
6. Almost 6. 5 and 6, I guess.
Okay. And so by late 2007 and into 2008, MySpace was considered the leading social networking site, consistently beat out its main competitor, Facebook, in traffic. It consistently beat it out. But in October of 2005, MySpace was reporting 24.2 million unique users and 11.6 billion page views per month. By 2007, MySpace was valued at $12 billion.
Wow.
Artists such as My Chemical Romance, Nicki Minaj, Lily Allen, Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, and Katy Perry gained fame and recognition through MySpace.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
I love talking about the different artists that like blew up from like different platforms.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't know that Cardi B came from Vine.
No, I didn't know that.
So did Shawn Mendes.
I knew that. I knew that. Yeah. Because wasn't Shawn Mendes a part of kind of like the
MagCon?
I don't know what that is, but like the boy,
yes.
like
MagCon. Yes.
But what's the other people's names? Dallas, Cameron Dallas.
Yeah,
that's like he was part of that, right?
Yeah,
that's MagCon.
Yes.
MagCon. Okay, MagCon.
That was I was my era when I started.
Did you get into those types of things, or were you more into just like comedy Vine?
I was 21, so I was not into that.
Into the 15-year-old boys. Got it.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I didn't ever get into Vine, but Vine was in my. Like, I should have been on Vine.
Yeah.
I just never did. I never really did it.
I feel like you would have thrived on Vine.
Thank you so much. I don't think I would have. I would have tried really hard, and it would have been really bad.
Well, I mean, that was the style of Vine, where
That's
it's
true.
like, you have to try actually really hard because it is 6 seconds.
Yeah. That's wild to me. And I think I do think Vine changed the course of internet comedy forever, obviously, but I think it was the beginnings of like, I'll go back and look at YouTube videos, like comedy videos, like Jenna Marble's first video or like the Shoes video, like all of those big videos. They're so long.
Yeah.
And they're so funny, but they're so long. And I think now it is like, you need to get your comedy under 30 seconds or you don't know how to be a comedian, which is not true, but it's like there's so much just editing involved. And that's even why I was nervous doing a podcast. Like I had to really get into the groove of it because I feel like the first time we filmed, I was like, we didn't do joke after joke after joke after joke because I'm uncomfortable like not just having it be the most polished. Like this is exactly all I want to show you. And I think that came from Vine a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, Vine definitely shortened our attention spans, but I feel like we're also lengthening our attention spans. I don't know. Podcasts, like you kind of want them to be longer. It's like the visual element that you have to, make it shorter. Yeah. That sort of thing. But audio only, you can make it as long as you really want.
Yeah, totally. I love that. And you were on Vine. That was where you started.
I was nominated for Viner of the Year, last one ever.
Oh my God, Sarah.
I know.
That is incredible.
That's how I blew up.
That is amazing. And how was it when sorry, this is a little off topic, but I did want to ask you, because I know there's a lot of talks right now of the end of TikTok. Do you feel more prepared and less anxious about it because you went through the end of Vine?
Yeah, I have lost nearly 1 million followers before. I can lose 2 million now. I truly don't care. The thing is like you're supposed to spread your... Having a YouTube account is considered a savings account at this point.
Yeah.
So like people who are on short form platform, like video platforms, should really get into YouTube because that is like having a savings. But I mean, I have like 500,000 on Twitter, like there's 300,000 on Instagram. Like honestly, TikTok could disappear and it would be a damn shame because like that's where I have the most followers. But I feel like I've built up. I feel like I've been around so long that people would just find me again.
That's how, yeah. And I haven't been around very long, but I think I now feel, I don't feel anxiety because I have a good following on Instagram and YouTube. And I'm not, and I am just like, I think it, actually the end of Vine benefited a lot of people where their careers were able to, because I remember when Vine ended, like Liza Koshy and all those people making those videos that were like, welcome to my YouTube channel. I guess I have a YouTube channel because Vine doesn't exist anymore. And then they became like huge YouTubers and were making millions and millions of dollars. And it's like that. I mean, I'm sure it's not like TikTok will end and then nothing will replace it. It's like something will come and all of those people will now be using Instagram more or whatever it is, but it'll always, you know, it'll be okay. But I feel good now. At first I was really, I mean, a couple of years ago when it was being talked about, I was very anxious because none of my followers, I didn't have followers anywhere besides TikTok.
Yeah, well, I think like if you're a smaller creator or like TikTok is your main platform or like your only platform, obviously it's gonna suck for you. And I do feel for you, especially if that's your source of income or your creative outlet. And to lose all that hard work is definitely gonna suck. But I would recommend, it's very hard to move an audience from TikTok to another platform. But if you're very worried about it, you should start like moving people over.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, totally.
But who founded MySpace?
I'll tell you that, Sarah. Let me tell you that right now. Who founded it? In August of 2003. My birthday's in August.
Ooh.
A handful of employees from Los Angeles-based marketing companies, eUniverse, now Intermix Media, created MySpace, an alternative social networking site to rival Friendster, a popular social networking site. The group built MySpace in 10 days. Christy Wolf and Tom Anderson co-founded MySpace. D. Wolf was named as CEO, and Anderson was the first president. eUniverse held an internal competition to acquire its first group of members with a prize of $1,000 to the employee who signed up the most new members. The site grew exponentially in the first several months, surpassing Friendster's monthly visitors within 6 months.
And then everyone, so Tom Anderson is MySpace Tom. Do you know who MySpace Tom is?
Yes, I do. I do know that.
So Krista Wolf conceived MySpace vaginally. While taking a course titled "The Impact of Tech on Media and Entertainment" during the final year of his MBA program. In his final project of the class, DeWolf created Zeitgeist, which had elements of City Search and Match.com mixed with instant messaging. Basically, he kind of recreated Facebook, but really awful. And DeWolf, but he got an A on the project, and he used it as inspiration to create MySpace. And then, you know MySpace Tom. Yeah. But tell the kids.
Tom Anderson, a.k.a. MySpace Tom. Anderson founded the site partly as a reaction to Friendster and its policy of blocking accounts that did not use real names. Anderson is popularly known as Tom from MySpace Tom, or My Friend Tom, because he would automatically be assigned as the first friend of new MySpace users upon the creation of their profile.
I kind of so in different substance abuse programs, you say you say I'm a friend of Gary or something like that, or
what do you mean?
Well, I mean, so when you're gay, you would say are they a friend of Dorothy or something like that.
I see.
So it's I feel like if you're stuck in MySpace, are they a friend of Tom's?
Yeah.
You know, or you're addicted to social media. Oh, they're a friend of Tom's.
Oh, yeah. And why was it so popular? Well, tweens/teens could make MySpace accounts more easily. It was also more targeted towards teens than other social media platforms. When Facebook launched, it was only available to college students and primarily targeted at college students. And I think it was also a time where stranger danger and internet safety was so intense. People were so scared their kids were going to get kidnapped from being on the internet. And so I think there was a lot more, like, parents really didn't let you be on websites as much. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this isn't true. I wasn't there. But it feels like MySpace was like, this is 14, so you can use this. And I think some parents would just be like, oh, great, then they can use it, I guess. Whereas Facebook, they'd be like, you can't because you're not allowed to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is kind of creepy, but I did it, I think, as like, I did it to prove a point. So like in college, I used to write some people, like, okay, if I followed people and they posted a photo of like new roomies in front of their house and it had the number on it.
Yeah.
I would find that house and I would write them creepy letters. So they took down the fucking photos of their front. Like it wasn't, I wouldn't like follow through, but it's like you need to understand in smaller college towns, if it's a 4 number like house, like 3005, like there's only so many of those in those towns, and you can image search like the outside of the house, and people are going to find you.
But what's even crazier is because some people like that, I could see this is wrong, but they could be like, well, who would want to find me? There are internet celebrities who I swear to God will post photos of the outside of their house. A girl on TikTok, I'm not going to say her name, but she just moved. And she just showed the outside of her apartment, her new apartment. She was like, here's my new apartment. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? That's crazy. And I guess an apartment, they don't know what room you're in.
But
or what
still,
apartment.
if you wait outside.
Yes. And a lot of, I think we talked a little about this with mommy vloggers, but a lot of family vloggers show the outside of their front yard.
Yeah.
Almost all of them, because they're like showing their kids playing or whatever. And everyone just knows, like the LeBrant fam's address is just like known information.
Yeah.
Like people know that. You could go if you wanted to. 8 Passengers was the same. They all, you know where they live. And it is so dangerous.
It is, yeah.
Because people, if you have that big of a following, people do want to cause you harm.
Come to your house, yeah.
They do want to come to your house. And some of them, to be nice, it's not nice. It's weird. But some of them are nice, but some of them are truly crazy.
I just think you should not go to anyone's house if you don't know them.
No, don't do that. In September of 2006, Facebook opened to everyone at least 13 years or older with a valid email address. MySpace enabled young people to express themselves online. Friendster and other social media sites didn't enable a level of personalization that MySpace did. Certain features were previously limited to single websites. MySpace was able to house multiple features on a single website, which likely led to users spending more time on MySpace. MySpace offered features like classified ads, dating profiles, event invitations, instant messaging, streaming music.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
What was your MySpace look like? Like, what did it look like?
It was very pink and sparkly. It was like, you know when you go to a website and it's like clearly from 2005, there's lime green text. Like, but it's like all off center. That was mine, because I like tried to code, and when I finished, it was just all crap.
I love that. Did you have a song that played when you went to your MySpace?
Oh crap, I'm not sure. But I know that I definitely was like a bit of a bitch growing up, and that like I would arrange my friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is something that could not exist nowadays. Like, people would be like, this is not acceptable, I feel like.
Yeah.
At a certain age. I think maybe teenagers would still do it.
Yeah.
But I could not handle the drama that would ensue if I ranked my friends.
Yeah.
Not now. I think my friends now probably wouldn't care. But in high school, oh my God.
Yes.
I couldn't do it. I don't think I could. I don't even think I have a ranking. Not like I couldn't do it because I don't want to say. I'm like, I don't have a ranking of my friends.
You have never, okay, besides your partner, like, could you rank your 3 best friends?
No.
Oh.
I could not. I couldn't. Well, I couldn't publicly.
All right.
No, I feel like I have like the 8 people I would put on there. It would be so impossible. Each of them would come with like an explanation. Like I would have to like call them and be like, okay, so you're number 3, but let me explain why. So number 2, you know, if I didn't put them as number 2, they would like freak out on me. And then number 4, it's like we've known each other a lot. Like it would be such long explanations. Yeah. It would give me so much anxiety.
Yeah.
And I think ultimately I would end up putting people first who I knew would freak out about it. And then like the people that were like 7, 8, 9 would probably be my closer friends, but people I knew like would not care.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I would thankful most of my friends, very good friends, are heavily neurodivergent.
Yeah.
So like there probably would be a system to my ranking, and if I did call them and I explained it, they'd be like, that makes sense.
But
you know?
You'd have to think about it, right? You don't have like in your brain, you're like, oh, this is the ranking of them, or do you?
Oh, no, but I could if I like outlined what were like the qualities I look for in a friend.
I guess that's true. I guess I could do it, but I absolutely could not share it with them. It would be so dramatic.
Yeah.
I think I would lose friends. Like, that's why I'm just amazed that people did this.
I could only do it if I, had no emotions.
Wild. But especially at that time, because now as an adult, I can talk through that. I would be like, okay, I'm number 5 on this person saying they were my number 2. Like, that sucks, but obviously that makes sense. And, I just need to, like, it's okay, whatever. As a teenager, I would have, like, called them sobbing, being like, you just fucking don't understand.
Yeah.
What this has done to me. Like, it would be so intense.
I didn't come to your birthday party because my mom got in a hit and run, and I was pinned in the car, upside down, under the bridge for 4 hours.
And now I'm number 5.
And I'm sorry, I didn't bring the cake. It was destroyed when the vehicle hit us.
And then I ate it.
Yes.
Sorry. Oh, yeah. I think back to things that I snapped over with someone. Yeah. Like, I have not, like I said, besides this one person who I did end up cutting out of my life, I have no drama with any person in my life and haven't for years, which is good. But also, it's like, I just can't imagine being that angry at someone. And in high school, I feel like I got into so many arguments with my friends. Like, that was just a part of having friends, where it was like, well, all my friends, we fight because we're friends. We get into arguments. We get into we don't speak for a week, and all of us are turning against one another, and it's dramatic. And I'm like, all of my friends now, I don't have arguments with. Like, that would feel crazy.
Yeah, I think, like, my only thing, a lot of my friends are very, very neurodivergent. So, like, we're, like, on the same page when it comes to, like, communication styles. I get so anxious when someone texts me all the time. Like, I like that type of friend.
Yeah,
like,
same.
I totally understand that they're chatty, but I'm like, if I tell them, hey, like, I don't really text a lot, if you came over, you could probably just say all this to me, and but like, I hate when they get offended that I say that. I'm like, I would love to hang out with you, but I am not gonna text a lot.
Yeah,
because it's like distracting. I already have ADHD, so the idea of checking my phone, it's gonna take me out of whatever I'm doing. Yeah, but what were we talking about?
Ranking people.
Yeah.
But that makes me think of this, because I am like, I think why it would be hard for me to rank my friends is that it's that I am an introvert. I struggle to text back. I'm not a great texter. I do have friends who are very texty, and they just know I'm not the type of friend. I'm not going to text you all the time. We will not see each other. I don't have any friends I see every single day unless I live with them. Like, I lived with my best friend, Nicole, and we did everything together. But we lived together. And if we didn't live together, we probably wouldn't have done everything together, because I would have been like, well, I have a bunch of work to do. I have to go to work today. I can't spend every day with you.
Yeah.
And some people just operate that way, and them and their best friends spend 24/7 together. But I think I just have learned over time, too, that it's like all of my friends show me their love in other ways, in different ways than I do. And so I have some friends that, like, I see once every 3 months, but they are a close friend of mine. Like, we are close. We see each other once every 3 months. It feels like we catch up right where we left off, but they always send me a birthday card. You know what I mean? They always remember those types of things. If something really serious were to happen, they would always be there, always for me. And then I have friends who are there all the time and are so fun and, like, spend quality time with, but maybe are less reliable. Yeah. But that doesn't make them, like, a better or worse friend. Like, I view them in the same, I'm like, they're all just so different. Yeah. You know?
Yes.
Because I know there's probably, I get worried. I try to be that way because I think a lot of people could think I was a bad friend. Yeah. Because I'm not a texter backer. I don't do any of, I'm not someone who can hang out with all the time. But I really am someone, if you, like, text me at 4 a.m. and we're like, I need you to pick me up at this location right now. Oh, yeah. I would be there, you know, and I, like, no questions asked, I'd be there. Yeah. I'm always very supportive. If you, like, are in a bad place, you can always come over. My door's always open. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to be able to, like, hang out all the time.
Oh, yeah. If you need me to drive you to LAX, I'll probably do that.
Well, that's too much. LAX is where I draw the line.
Well, I mean, if I have a stand-up set coming up and I want to practice out loud, I'll drive you to LAX, so on the drive back home I can be like, what's the deal with chicken feet, you know, or something? Yes. Yeah.
No, LAX is a true friendship move. I do drive people to LAX,
I've done that for casual people.
Oh my God.
This is going to sound so sad.
It's so long to drive there.
Let me tell you something sad. I used to drink a lot, and the only time I didn't drink is if I knew I had to drive that day.
Yeah.
So, like, if my friend, I would, like, pray that my friends would ask me to drive them to LAX, like, the day before, so I could be like, oh, thank God, tomorrow I won't drink.
Yeah, instead of just being like, you cannot drink.
Yeah,
don't drink.
My brain can't, like, tell me not to, but if I have an obligation, so, like, they would be like, I don't know if this is too much. I'm like, no, oh my God.
Yeah.
You don't even know what you've done for me.
You started like becoming an Uber. You should have been an Uber driver.
No, that's literally what oh my gosh, I wrote like a sketch on that like years ago where like to sober up, I was like going to apply to be an Uber driver.
Yeah.
And so like everyone was like, that sounds, but yes. Well, I want to go back to the MySpace thing.
Yes.
There's the rise of MySpace, like in June 2004, when I was 9 years old, MySpace breaks 1 million unique visitors per month. They're unique.
They're all special. They're all very interesting. They have interesting interests.
And then February of 2005, DeWolf discusses acquiring Facebook with Mark Zuckerberg, but he gets rejected. Zuckerberg rejected the offer to sell Facebook to him for $75 million.
Ooh.
Damn. Sorry. And then
that's always hard because I'm like, I would have taken that.
Yeah.
I just would have been like, because to me, I would have been like, well, $75 million is enough for me forever.
Yeah.
So I'll just take $75 million and never work again.
Yeah.
$1 million a year.
I know.
I would be like, I don't need any more. Nobody needs any more than that.
That's true. Damn. But June 2005, Rupert Murdoch's Media Corporation, News Corp, purchases MySpace for $580 million. Holy shit. And then
Holy shit.
Holy shit. That's more than $500 million.
The fall of MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun. Did you feel like it happened fast or when you were in it?
I already transitioned to Facebook,
Okay, you were
so
at
I
it.
truly did not care.
July 2007. By this time, MySpace had lost 30% of its visitors under 18 who began migrating to Facebook. June 2008, Facebook passes MySpace in terms of users. June 2009, MySpace lays off 30% of its staff, going from 1,420 employees down to 1,000. The international staff is also reduced from 450 to 150. In 2010, MySpace attempts and fails to rebrand itself as a social entertainment website. This leads to 10 million users leaving the site. Oh, that's so deeply upsetting. That would be so embarrassing. You're so excited for launch day. You're like, this is it. And they're like, okay, we're shutting down.
Leave.
January 2011, MySpace lays off 500 employees or almost 50% of its workforce. The New York Times reports even Tila Tequila, the model and rapper who achieved fame by building an audience on MySpace, has switched allegiances.
Yeah.
In 2006, the Time magazine called her the queen of MySpace, but these days she preferred Facebook.
Yeah, so MySpace did attempt to rebrand. They were unsuccessful. In June of 2011, MySpace is purchased by Specific Media Group and Justin Timberlake.
Oh my God.
You know, so the site starts to like focus on music and discovering music. And in September of 2012, stakeholder Justin Timberlake tweeted a video advertising a new MySpace reincarnated as a social music site. And then In June 2013, MySpace launched a $20 million advertising campaign featuring dozens of celebrities to show off how much the site has changed. At the same time, users began to report that their classic profiles carried over from the old site had been removed without warning, including their personal blogs and photos.
Wow.
They spent all the money they had left trying to get some celebrities to say, hey, this is not dying.
It's bizarre because I do think at a certain point it's like when you're laying off that many employees, just throw in the towel. What do you think is going to happen? You think you're going to fully
recover?
Come back? I guess some places do, but it's like, I just think I would be like, let's all take our money and go start a new company, a more updated company that doesn't have all the, bad press that MySpace had at the time. That's very tough.
Yeah, it's hard to save a sinking ship.
Yeah, just get off the ship and start a new ship.
Yeah, exactly. Just build a new ship.
Instead of trying to rebuild the ship while it's sinking.
Yeah.
Wow, this is a beautiful metaphor. What caused MySpace downfall? Bad user experience. I mean, it is a rough. You
had to code.
It's old. It looks old. It's like when I try to pay my mortgage. It's like on a website.
You have a mortgage?
I do.
You bought a house?
I own my condo.
You own it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can you believe? I know. I never thought.
When did you buy that?
In December? No, October.
Oh, wow.
Recent. It is recent.
Yeah.
Yeah. I own it, so I pay a mortgage. I don't know.
Oh my God. You have a mortgage. I
know. But every time I pay a mortgage, it's a website where you don't. It's like people have to pay their mortgage. They don't need to put any money into making the website good.
Yeah.
Because they're not trying to get customers. People have to pay their mortgage, and they're given a website to pay. It's not like they get to pick really.
Yeah.
And it is it feels like I'm in 1901. It is the most bizarre. Hasn't been updated in 25 years. It takes so long.
1901.
When they started making computers.
Yes.
From what I know.
Yeah.
From what I know, that's when they make computers. And it feels like MySpace is similar. Like you know what website's old because when you go on it, it has like the original clicker. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where it's like not the Apple clicker.
Yes, I understand. Yes.
Do you understand? Yes. It's not the one that comes with the computer. It's the old one.
I just farted I just farted again. I am so sorry. Keep it in though. This chair is good. I'm so sorry. Like I can't. I'm farting. I promise there's a spit shield in my underwear.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. I didn't. It's just a fart. I'm sorry. I had Red Bull.
Unacceptable.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
If you smell it, I'm really sorry.
No, that's
Keep
okay.
going.
It wouldn't be my first time.
Oh
smelling
no, but
your
the
fart.
next you've smelled my fart before?
Yes.
Really?
Do you remember when you came over to my apartment? We were naming the podcast.
Yes.
You farted a lot that night.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I didn't care, but you did it. It was like a lot.
I thought you would have noticed.
You would say, I'm
kidding.
farting, and then you would fart really loud. And then I was like, okay. And it was funny because we'd met like one time prior to this.
Yes.
And I was like, yeah, that's fine. That doesn't matter. And it was so loud. And I don't care, though. Farting doesn't bother me. Yes. I can't, or I wouldn't survive this podcast.
I'm so sorry.
I don't care.
Keep going.
They have bad user experience. And they just are bad. It was an ugly website. It didn't work. It took forever to load. They had all these special features, but because they had all the special features, it took forever to load.
Yes.
You farting again?
It's just seeping out of me. You know when you're like walking and you fart with each step?
Yes. Have you ever done it where you're wearing headphones and you're like, nobody can hear this? And then you realize you're just like farting so loudly as you walk down the street. I feel like you're kind of like a baby where I can like tell, like with my nephew, I'll be like, oh yeah, he's making that face. He's like shitting himself right now. And you know, like sometimes I'll look at you and the eye contact you're giving me, I'm like, they're farting right now.
When I'm cuddling with my partner, my entire body tenses up.
Yes, I know. I do the same thing. I didn't believe it though. We had a couple friends in town the other day and they've been together like 8 years.
Yeah.
And they were like, we don't fart in front of each other. And I was like, how? This makes me think I have medical issues because if I didn't fart in front of my partner, I would actually have to go to the hospital. Yeah. Because I would have so much abdominal pain.
Yeah, sometimes when TMI
you start saying that now? What possibly you're gonna say?
But sometimes when Naomi's back there, when we're
sweet Lord, I know what you're doing.
I will like fart, and I'm like, all right, you're right, my turn. Because
God.
And because we want to keep going, but I have got to fart multiple times.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm in the same.
Yeah.
I'm the same. Someone said online.
What?
I just thought of this because someone had commented on YouTube and was like, Kendahl just agrees with everything Sarah says. And in this moment, it made me laugh because you're like, well, my partner's eating my ass, and then I fart, and I say, I gotta switch.
Oh,
and I
I
go, me too. I'm the same exact way, actually. I do the same exact thing.
I didn't mean eating ass. I just meant like you're back there.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Oh, if they were eating my ass, I would be like, you need to leave for a second.
I don't know.
We would have to stop.
I don't know what boundaries you guys have set with one another. I didn't know. I didn't want to judge.
Oh.
Anyways, MySpace has been unsafe. Yes. Similar to this podcast recording studio, MySpace has been unsafe compared to other social media platforms. In 2006, Facebook rolled out communication tools that were seen as safe in comparison to MySpace. MySpace has particular problems with vandalism, phishing, malware. What's that?
Malware. It's like something that doesn't fit right.
Okay.
No, malware is.
Oh. I was like, don't really understand how that has to do with MySpace.
No, it's like a bug.
Oh, got it. And spam, which it failed to curtail, making the site seem inhospitable. What did they spend $20 million on? I guess just the celebrities. They didn't do anything else to the site, really.
They got the rest of the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, exactly.
There are news stories that contributed to a negative view of MySpace. In 2006, Connecticut Attorney General Richard Blumenthal launched an investigation into children's exposure to pornography on MySpace. The resulting media frenzy and the site's lack of the effective spam filter gave the site a reputation as a vortex of perversion.
And you think that's true?
I want that nickname.
Vortex of perversion.
There's something about... I don't know if this makes sense. men have really commandeered the term pervert.
Yeah.
But I think there's something, I want to be like a whimsical pervert.
Yeah, you're a pervert for sure.
Well, yeah, but
in
like,
a good way.
Yeah, I mean, like,
it's endearing.
Like, I would never direct my perversions toward anyone like specific. I just kind of want this general aura, you know. And there's like just the harmless town pervert, not the actual pervert, but like, you know, just like that's Joey. He's a pervert.
Yeah, but it's Sarah.
I want that.
And you've somehow turned it into a career in such a beautiful way, in that you get to be a pervert and you don't have to think about it because all these people are consensually logging onto your podcast and onto your TikTok, and you just are a pervert, and they clap for you and they say, this is incredible.
But the thing is the key to being a successful pervert is don't, like, if you have a celebrity crush, don't be like, oh my God, I want to suck their titties. That's creepy.
Yeah.
You have to be like, I just feel like sucking titties, you know? Like, it has to be a general statement, because once you start focusing that perverted energy, you're gonna really just be weird.
I think you can be perverted to yourself sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's how you get around it sometimes.
Or my partner. My partner has to deal with a lot.
I think Tumblr was maybe worse than MySpace, but I wasn't on MySpace very much. Would you agree, or am I fully off base on that?
I was not on Tumblr as a user. I was on Tumblr as a brand. Like, I mean, like, I wrote for brand accounts on Tumblr.
Sure. Okay. Yes.
Were you on Tumblr?
I was on Tumblr, kind of. I was still too young. It was like, my Tumblr is really embarrassing. It's actually still up, and I should delete it. It's just like photos of dogs. Yeah, you could. It's like very bizarre. It'll be like jokes that are like not funny. And then, like, a lot of pictures of children. Like, I think it was, like, the beginning of, like, family vlogging, where people would, like, post an aesthetically pleasing photo of their, like, baby.
Yeah.
And I would, like, what is it? I was going to say retumblr it, which is not what it was called. Reblog it. Yeah. And I'm like, why did I share that? But I was, like, in 5th grade. So I didn't really have a Tumblr. But then the first time I masturbated was reading fan fiction on Tumblr.
Oh my God.
And I did that for about 5 years before I learned that porn existed.
Jesus Christ.
So
there's this really nice gentleman on Instagram who every time I post a photo of myself will face app it. It just makes me an old man. He sends me, like, he's been doing it for years. So that's what it reminded me of.
Oh my God. See, this is why you can't share your address.
No. He doesn't send it to my house.
What does he do with it? That's even worse. He just keeps it for me. He just DMs it. That is so funny. Do you ever think that he's had, like, arguments with his wife because he's been like, they've been like on a date and he's like, oh, fuck, Sarah posts, damn it, I hate my job. Sarah posts, I got a face app. Just give me a couple minutes.
I can guarantee you he's never spoken to a woman. Oh my gosh, you want to know the creepiest, most considerate thing someone's ever done for me? So back in like 2018. I had like an obsession with executive producer Dick Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, I had hats, jackets, and, like,
oh my God.
For, like, a solid year, that was all my content on Twitter. And so someone found where I used to work, and they sent me a signed original copy of a Law & Order SVU script, but it had the entire cast on it, and it was, like, literally worth, like, thousands of dollars.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, this is creepy because they found where I worked.
Yeah.
But they also sent that to me.
What's like the weirdest thing you've ever gotten in your P.O. box?
Ooh, probably a loaded handgun.
Wait, is that true?
No, it's not.
Is that true?
No. What is the weirdest thing you've gotten in your P.O. box?
Nothing too crazy. No, nothing too crazy. I haven't gotten anything too crazy. A lot of, like, sometimes people will send, like, handmade things that I'm like, I don't want this. Like, but it's not weird. It'll be like, oh, I own a soap business.
Yeah.
But it's clearly like someone who, it's very sweet of them to send, but maybe they're just starting up or something. Yeah. And it's like, you can hardly tell it's soap, and it's like wrapped in tinfoil, and they're like, this is my soap company. And I'm like, please, I'm not going to use this on my body.
Yeah.
This would give me a rash for sure. But it's very sweet. It's not weird.
Yeah. I think the weirdest thing, it wasn't weird conventionally, but it was like way too much time was invested. They sent me this, it was like when I was on Vine, so this is probably like 2016 or 15 when they sent me this, but like it was a box of like at least $1,000 worth of gifts, where it was like a hat, a book, a vinyl, it was a bunch of stuff, and each item was individually wrapped, and each item had a letter, like 2-page letter of what this item meant to them. and like why they like this book or listen to this album. And I was like, this is nice that you'd like to share with me. But that this is bordering on
scary. It's really scary. It's really scary. Yeah, you gotta be careful on the internet, you guys. I might not know any of these influencers, but here's some famous ones.
Okay.
I do know Tila Tequila. Of course I know Tila Tequila. What are your thoughts?
I think she is a fucking idiot.
Incredible.
And but she is she I guess was cool on MySpace, but now she's like really Republican.
Yeah. And I think it was at a time where people didn't really care about, people weren't thinking about anyone.
Politics.
Yeah. It was like you just be famous on MySpace. Like I wasn't on MySpace, but I actually had a couple friends who like had a lot of followers on MySpace or something.
Yeah.
But they were like 14 and would post like scene kid photos on MySpace and then just like had a bunch of followers. But people didn't know anything about them. It was just like photos of them.
Yeah.
And they didn't care what they like, what their personality was in any way.
Yeah, I think like from the perspective of like an influencer, I know that people have used their social media accounts to like share like their political like activism, especially now. But like in 2014, 2015, right before Trump was elected, like it was like everyone, I mean, people's politics did matter, but it didn't really come up that much.
No, but it did it even because I'm like, you didn't know, nobody, like you just did not care. Like I feel like I don't know a single British YouTuber's political views. I assume they're not Republicans, but I don't know. I never asked. Like nobody questioned it.
It was like crazy. Like when the Trump train was like building up, like you saw this really crazy divide in like when people started talking about their politics, and I was like, oh my God, you're like a conservative. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and I think it like makes sense too because it's a lot of people who are filthy rich. Like a lot of influencers, do you know what I mean, have so much money. And I think sometimes those people you wouldn't think are like they're very open or they're very fun and they're very like I don't know, just people who you wouldn't be like, I bet they're a Republican or whatever. Not that people.
Yeah, well, I was thinking all the people that I'm thinking that I was shocked that they're Republican are very small influencers.
I don't know if I can even think of anyone, to be honest. Like, who are you thinking of?
Do you know Baked Alaska?
No, I don't know anybody. I'm the worst.
Everyone listening to this right now is like, holy shit. But Baked Alaska used to do he's like an alt-right Nazi now.
What did he used to do? Maybe I know.
He used to do the food videos at BuzzFeed.
Whoa.
I know. And so like he was already weird at BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
But then like when the Trump was like, he just got so fucking weird.
Yeah. I mean, even like prior like even in like and I was younger, so I'm sure I know people talked about politics before Trump. Like, of course, that was the thing people talked about. But like even on my like pre-Trump, it was less common to even talk about it. In like when I was in high school, it was like we weren't asking each other really. Do you know what I mean? Who voted for who, or whose parents voted for who? It just like wasn't as much of a conversation.
You weren't really like voting in high school.
No, but like I think now in high school, like I even think about how like I've talked about before. My 8th grade English teacher was like really religious. Yeah, and he would like show religious films and like. He was anti-gay, like he was fully anti-gay. Didn't talk about it in class, but like was open about it. Like if you did any.
Openly homophobic.
Yeah, he like on his Facebook was openly homophobic. He had like an anti-gay bill sign outside of his house. Like he would invite people over for Bible study. Like people knew all this. And he was like the favorite teacher. Like he was the teacher. Oh, everyone can't wait to have this teacher. And I'm like that. I always wonder what he's going through now. And I hope they're just ripping him to shreds because I'm like, I think the middle schoolers now are much more like, oh yeah, I hate you because you're homophobic. Like they're so much more aware. They would like never like a teacher. But back when I was in middle school, which wasn't even like too long ago, it's like we just didn't talk about that stuff. You know what I mean? Yes. I don't know. It was just a different time.
I do understand that.
Also, Jeffree Star. I didn't know he went.
Oh yeah, Jeffree Star was massive on MySpace.
Wait, I'm sorry. We can cut this out. Jeffree Star identifies as he. Or she or they?
They literally Jeffree Star just made fun of they them.
Okay,
so
great.
He's a dick.
Okay, so he's an asshole. That's what I can say. Okay, perfect.
Him is a dick.
Great, perfect. Jeffree Star. Yeah, I didn't know that he went viral on MySpace. I didn't know that.
He was a singer, yeah.
I didn't know that either. He fascinates me, not in a way that's actually like I'm interested in learning about him.
Yeah.
I am just like, you know what I think interests me more than him? I think his relationship with Shane Dawson was so deeply confusing to me and continues to be. So that is something that I find wild about him. But other than that, I literally do not care about Jeffree Star in any capacity.
I think once you have an understanding of, I think I get him. I don't want to diagnose him, but I think I get the gist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think I also understand Shane Dawson's mentality pretty much. But there is the MySpace scene queens. I loved MySpace, like, scene hair and makeup. The, like, skunk. And
my sister was like that in high school. Like,
my
she
gosh.
was 7 years older than me. And so I was in elementary school. She was in high school. And she, like, was full scene kid, had like the knee-high lace-up Converse.
Yeah.
She would lace them up every morning, like was so black hair that went over like that.
Yeah.
Really dark eyeliner. And we would listen to like screamo music on the drive to school. She'd drive me to school.
Yeah.
And I remember, which I always thought was very sweet, I hated screamo music because it stressed me out.
Yeah.
But she got like there was like a group that would do covers.
Yeah.
And so it was screamo, but she got me like Taylor Swift screamo.
Yeah.
So we would listen to that when she drove me to school.
Oh my God. It's gonna sound weird. There were like two like scene girls at like my school. There were people who were like casually emo or like, you know, half-ass emo.
Yeah.
But these girls were like two like, I mean, if you think about like aesthetic queens now, like it looks like they invested. And so they were like kind of like superstars in my head.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they very much kept to themselves, but every time I saw them, they were so committed to the style that I was like, that is cool.
Yes.
You know, to have that. I mean, I didn't necessarily, I was not seen in high school. I wore a vest, but like, no, I only wore a vest for 10th grade.
You were a crossing guard, so you wore an orange vest every day.
No, I wore a vest in 10th grade.
Man.
But like, I saw these girls and I was like, they are committed to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. Very, very cool. So all of these, Hannah Beth, Jack Vanek, Audrey Kitching.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Audrey Kitching was known for her pink hair and Lisa Frank vibe. Oh my God, Lisa Frank.
Oh my God. Republican, right? Was that what you're saying? No,
Lisa Frank, like the...
No, I know, but I'm pretty sure she...
Lisa Frank is a Republican?
Maybe I'm fully wrong.
I thought she was a horse.
Out. I'll look at him. She was... No, she's the artist.
Oh.
And I'm pretty sure she's...
I just farted.
I can hear it.
I'm sorry. I just didn't want you to be confused.
My girlfriend is like, you have to stop, because I do the same thing where if I fart, it would be so loud. And they're like, I still announce it. And they're like, I can hear you. And we were in a movie theater the other day. We were seeing Magic Mike, if you can believe it.
Again?
No, just the first time. A lot happened during the showing. And I farted and I got really embarrassed because I did not mean to. Like, I did not mean to do it. And they heard it and were just trying to like pretend, you know, they didn't hear it. And I was like hitting them because I think I was like so anxious because like somebody heard it. I need us to be like talking so people, I don't know. And I'm like hitting them. I'm like, Jordan, I farted. And they were like, I know, stop. I know, I'm trying to. And now everybody can hear you being like, I farted. Anyways, you don't have to be embarrassed, Sarah.
I'm so sorry, guys. I had Red Bull and it just makes me all gassy. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Millionaires, we know them.
Yes,
we love them.
There's Millionaires is an American electronic music group, EDM, consisting of Melissa Marie Green. The group, I think it's EDM, formed in August of 2007, originally consisted of Green and her sister Allison Green. The group is widely known for mixing heavily explicit lyrics with an electric pop backing.
Wow, incredible. So there's a bunch of artists. People popped off, just
Great.
like any
cool.
Yeah. Got it. I get it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then top 8. This is what we got to speed through a little. But this, you had a top 8?
Yes, I had a top 8.
First of all, I'd like to say that's a lot of people. That's a huge. I do think I would have struggled in high school coming up with a top 8. I would have been like, I don't have 8 friends.
You think someone who wears a vest has a hard time coming up with 8 friends?
How did you do it?
Theater. A theater kid.
They were like, we have not met. You're not even in theater. We don't know.
Well, I mean, the more you progress through like 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, you had to befriend, like all the 9th graders had to befriend the 10th graders on like Facebook and stuff. So I pretty much had like a built-in posse.
Good God. That's cool. But I just think it would have been so
cool.
hard. It's really cool. You were really, really cool. And
did you do theater in high school?
Yeah, in middle school and elementary school. I had my first commercial audition at age 5.
For what?
Apple, the company.
Oh my God.
I didn't get it.
Have you ever been in a commercial?
No.
Oh.
I've never booked anything, but I did a lot of professional theater in my day as a child. It was like professional. Like we got paid, but it was not, and it was with adults, but it was, it was community theater.
Yeah.
But I loved theater. I was the president of my high school theater department.
Oh, wow.
And it was great.
Weren't you also on student council?
I was also president of a student class.
Dude, you have like, did you do well in school?
No.
You just had a lot of like...
I did so many, because I had a learning disability. It's the only thing. It was like, I wasn't a bad student. I always tried to do my homework. I studied, I had a tutor. I was just literally bad at school. And then by the time I was a junior and senior or sophomore, it was like I had failed so hard for so long and worked so hard. But I just had all these undiagnosed learning disabilities. And so I was so tired by the time I was like a sophomore that I just kind of stopped doing my work and I started cheating on everything because I was like, there's no point. Like I will study for weeks for a test that nobody else studied for and I will get an F and everyone will get an A. And I was just tired of it. So then I did bad. But I was a great student. I loved school. Like I really loved going there. Like my senior year, I could have just like, because I wasn't going to go to college.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't go to college because my SAT scores were so bad. So I didn't really have to take any classes besides English and then history. Were the only classes I technically had to take.
Yeah.
And most people would just be like, great, I'll show up at 2:30 and take class, like or noon or whenever and show up late. But I just took 5 drama classes. So I would still get there at like 7:30 and take drama. I loved being at school.
Oh my God.
I don't know why. I've always was like that.
Okay, so riddle me this. Your parents love you and you were failing so consistently. Did they like think to get you tested for stuff?
They do love me so much. I think it was just a different time. Like ADHD was not.
It was 2016.
But I think it was still very different. 2016 was like my tail end of high school though. So it's like in elementary school, I think it was a time when a lot of parents were very anxious that every kid was being put on like Ritalin or whatever. So I think a lot of parents were being, maybe defensive or scared that their kid was going to get misdiagnosed. So I was never diagnosed with ADHD. I think, but my mom has since been, I think if my mom was raising me now, I think I would be on ADHD medication. I think like she's up with the times. Like, and she's since been like, oh, I'm sorry, I never got you checked out for that. It is funny to me because it was so obvious. Like, I'm not I have ADHD. Like, I took the test and they were like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, I have really bad ADHD. And it's like, I'm not functioning. Like, off medication, I'm really non-functioning.
Yeah.
And I think that would surprise a lot of people because I held myself together pretty well for a long time. But my mom did a lot of stuff for me. Like, my mom helped me so much. Like, she would read me all of the books that were assigned reading in high school. My mom read to me and would explain them to me. And we would study for hours and hours and hours. And I had tutoring. Like, she was doing all the things to like help.
Yeah.
But it was like I was a lost cause. It's like, you can't help me because no matter how much tutoring I get, I'm still stupid.
Yeah.
Not stupid, but you know what I mean? Like, my brain cannot do those things. I can't, unless I'm like, I have help or whatever. But so I think it's just, she didn't realize. And my dad was clueless, but
he just didn't help either.
He was just not, he was a dad. He was a very classic dad where it's like, he had no idea what was going on in my, if you'd asked him like, what classes are you taking? He'd have been like, I have no idea what classes she's taking. What grade is she in? I have no idea.
Yeah.
So.
My parents.
Did they get you medicated?
No. But my parents are both incredibly smart.
Yeah.
And sorry, this is so bad.
No, it's okay.
I was too scared to ask for help, but I knew that I was struggling because my parents, if you asked my parents for help, they would be like, how do you not know this?
Yeah.
I was like 7 and I was like asking like what a wrench was. And they were like, how do you not know what a wrench is?
Yeah.
So like I was too afraid to ask for help. And they did, if we didn't get good grades, they put like the fear of God in us.
Yeah.
So I was like, the only reason why I got by in high school because I was too afraid to be dyslexic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I had to I had to listen to the audiobook and read it at the same time. so I could like understand stuff. Everything took forever.
I couldn't have done, and I think because I was doing so many extracurriculars.
Yeah.
I was like, because I think I wanted to feel like I was good at theater and I was really good at improv. So it was like I shined there. And I think I'm a Leo. Sorry to bring astrology into it, but I think I did want to be good at something. Like I wanted to be good and I wanted people to like think I was cool. So I like did a lot of stuff.
So you did theater.
I did theater. Magic was like, I did football. I was a captain of the football team.
And show choir. Let's just say I was on prom court.
Well, I think about that. Not even cool, but I wanted people to think I was like good. Like I really wanted to be a good kid. And I think like a classic thing that's paired with like a bad kid is like bad grades, which is so stupid because they're so not related.
Yeah.
But I think I wanted to be like a good kid and I didn't want teachers to think I was bad or my parents to think I was bad. So I like did all the things you're supposed to do to be like a good kid, but I just couldn't do the grades part of it. And I think I got really good grades in middle school. Mm-hmm. My mom literally, was like basically taking all my middle school classes with me. Like she was helping me through every bit of my homework. And so I think sometimes I'm like, yeah, but if my mom hadn't been there, I would have gotten straight Fs. Like I think I would have been diagnosed with a learning disability because I think teachers would have been like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why can't you read this? I literally could not read. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, I can read words. Like, I learned how to read. But in, like, senior of high school, we had to read Pride and Prejudice. And I could not read it. It's like, I can't read that. My mom had to read every page to me. And then at the end of it, I'd be like, wait, what do you mean? Like, explain it. And then she would explain the page to me. And we would do that with every book. And then I would still fail the test.
No, yeah, that was crazy. I did so bad in English, but I did so great in creative writing.
Oh, yeah.
Because in English, like, I have a hard time, people with, it's a hard thing to read subtext. There's like, that's the whole point of like being neurodivergent. So like when they're like asked you to like analyze a chapter, like what did the author mean by the curtain is blue? I was like, you simpleton, the curtain is blue.
Yeah.
Like meanwhile it means the author is like sad. So I could not analyze.
But in my opinion, that's stupid.
Yeah, I couldn't analyze anything. But when it came to creative writing, my brain was just like,
yes, you know? I was just saying, and I could do. Sorry, and this last thing we can wrap it up. I'm sorry.
We don't even have to finish about MySpace.
Okay, MySpace is done. This is the real.
We're just gonna rant about. Wait, so what were you gonna say?
Having learning disabilities. I would literally because I worked so. I really can't express enough. It's like if like my kid was working so hard, and cared about their future. I really cared about what my life looked like. I was not someone who just like didn't care. I had plans. I had goals, and they were being taken away because I couldn't do the work. I think I would have been like, oh, my kid has an issue, like a learning disability.
Yeah.
I don't think it wasn't talked about as much. Even, I think it's recently, I think the internet's made things much more like, not even just, it's like we knew it existed, but it's acceptable. It's okay to have those things. Even therapy, it's like, I think now therapy's switching to being like, oh yeah, everybody goes to therapy unless, like you should go to therapy. You're more healthy if you go to therapy, whereas before it was kind of the opposite. And I think that, wait, what was I going to say though? Sorry, I don't remember. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, I don't remember. But I had a bad learning disability. I was so bad. Oh, what I was going to say is that I was very creative. And I would do things that like would help me get good grades. So like first in Spanish, for example, I was so bad at Spanish. I could not. It's like I hardly can read English. Do you think I'm going to be able to read Spanish? This is like, and it, with the dyslexia and all of that, it was like I couldn't do it. And I still have a goal to learn Spanish, but it was very hard in class. And I felt like everyone understood it and I just couldn't get it. And I wanted to. Like, and that was a theme in most of my classes where it was like the teacher would be like, it's confusing because she sits front row. She's really excited to be there.
Yeah.
Like, I was someone who came into Spanish class, Spanish 101, being like, I'm going to be fluent in Spanish by the end of my high school career. Didn't even take Spanish 201, so that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I would fail the test and have such a bad grade, and I would be like, can I please make like a film for extra credit? And they would be like, okay. And so in Spanish, and I did this in English too, every chapter of the book, I would make a film that went along with it and like cast it. It was like a 5 to 10 minute short film.
Yeah.
That I'd write. It would be all in Spanish, or if it was if it was science, I would just like make these short films and they'd give me extra credit. And I'm like, that was so much more work than just studying for a test. But my brain literally, I could not study. Like I could not focus. So I'd make all these movies and I would get good. I would get okay. I'd pass my classes.
Hell yeah.
But it was nice they let me do that because I don't think most people. Yeah. But they wouldn't have let me do that in college. So that's why I couldn't go to college.
Yeah, I think I was very creative in that like I could do come up with anything to get out of school.
Yeah.
Where like I found out that if you eat multivitamins on an empty stomach, you're gonna be sick, really sick, for about an hour and a half.
I didn't know that.
So if I wasn't like a super good actor at like the school nurse because she was a hard ass, so you really had to drive it home that you were sick. So I would take a multivitamin on an empty stomach, and then you just get nauseous. Like it's like it knocks, like you were like bent over in pain, and I'd go to the school nurse and I'd be like, I have to go home, and it clears up in an hour and a half. So now you have the rest of the day.
Yeah, just hanging out.
I used to like bring like a short skirt that I would change into an hour before like school got out, because they're gonna send me home to like change.
Yeah.
There was some policy with like our school district where you couldn't wear basketball shorts, like from the Lost and Found.
Yeah.
And so like I would just change into it so that I would get to leave like early.
Yeah.
And I was also the kid who was like known for throwing up a lot. So I could like get out of, oh my gosh. I was speaking of creative writing. I used to be the teacher's assistant for like the creative writing classes.
Yeah.
And so I would read the papers, and my job was to report all the suicidal kids to the guidance counselor.
Is that real?
Yeah. Like the people who
God.
took creative writing were like, I remember the one that sticks out to me is like blood oozing from every orifice. They wrote that, and I was like, I have to take you downtown.
That's like when I say when I did competitive drama, and so we would go to competitions, like do monologues and stuff. And I would always, this is so bad, but me and my friend thought it was funny at the time to go watch the self-written dramatic monologues.
Yeah.
Because they were 25 monologues of people. It was the same monologue. It was just people doing a monologue about being suicidal, which is not funny. But when it's that many, and they all think they're about to do something like really original, like I'm about to like be so vulnerable. Like it is so vulnerable. But then it's just like 20 of them doing the same monologue that they've written, being like, is this the end?
Yeah.
And you just sit through all of them, and I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever. How do they pick a winner? They're all the same. It's the same monologue. It's 24 girls being like, should I kill myself?
Yeah.
It was crazy. Anyways, we do have a guest.
Yes. We have a guest in the studio who is apparently the last person on MySpace.
Man. I thought that was you.
No, I'm not that old. But I would love to meet them. However, I have to drop a dookie.
Oh, and that feels believable to me because the way you've been acting on this podcast. All right, well, we're going to go interview them.
All right.
Be right back. Okay, everyone, welcome back to the BCC Club. I am here with a very special guest. Right here in the studio is Beef.
My name is Beef, like food, or if you want to fight someone and you have it.
You have beef, yeah. Who were you named after?
My father.
Beef.
Beefantha, yes.
Beautiful. Well, so we have you here today because our whole topic today was about MySpace.
Okay.
Tell us about your relationship with MySpace.
So I basically discovered MySpace.
Wow.
I was living upstairs to Tom and the gang.
Yeah.
And our floors were so thin, I heard their idea, and I decided one day to log on, and I just never got off.
Wow. So what year was that? That must have been...
2005.
Wow. So that was quite a while ago, and you're still on. That's almost 20 years later.
And my computer is so hot.
Yeah.
It loads like one page every 6 months.
I bet.
Yeah.
So can you just tell me, why are you using MySpace over some other platforms? I mean, we've got Instagram, there's Facebook, there's YouTube, TikTok. What is the pull to MySpace?
Like it's the original, you know? Like, do you ask someone who listens to cassettes why they don't just go on Spotify? No, because cassettes are how music should be consumed.
I see.
Social media is not actually social. I go on MySpace to yell into the void. If I go on Instagram, I could post something and people would respond.
Yeah, you don't want that.
I don't want that.
Okay.
It's my space.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes total sense to me, actually. So who are in your top 8? Do you have people?
Oh, yeah. It's me, Tom, and about 6 people from my middle school who were killed in a bus crash, but they never logged off. So
oh my God, I'm so
still
sorry.
Pretty tight.
All of your best friends.
Oh, they weren't my best friends.
They're in your top 8, right?
Yeah, they just are who's left on the site.
Oh, man. I'm so sorry. I mean, so you don't really communicate with anyone on there.
No, I say I make about 85% of the posts. The other 15% are people who don't realize that their Pornhub account is linked to MySpace.
Yeah.
So, when they're liking videos, it sends the like, it shares it to MySpace.
Yeah.
It's crazy the amount of people I know from high school who are really into feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, how do you keep up with people then in your life if nobody's on MySpace? Do you know what anyone you went to high school with is doing, or your cousins, or what do you do?
No, so I've actually gotten a little bit around that. I'm the only person, and I've made accounts for all my friends and family members.
Yeah.
And so I've kind of written their lore. So
you're pretending to be them.
Yeah, I'm pretending to be about 30 people right now, and I started back in 2009, and it's actually pretty beautiful, the tapestry I've woven.
Wow.
Because some people are like accountants, but in my world, they're a captain of a ship.
Yeah.
So
you don't actually know what's going on with any of these people.
No, but I know what could go on with them.
If they maybe put their mind to it, or in a different alternate universe, that's what they would have done.
If I was God, dictating their lives, yeah.
Do you miss them at all, though?
Do I miss them? I mean, I see them at Thanksgiving.
Oh, so you still see. Yeah, you still get to catch up.
Yeah. I need new pics for my profile picture, so we got to take pictures.
Sure.
Yeah.
What is your favorite MySpace feature?
Probably the music. Because I don't think any other social media app has even come close to what MySpace has done for music. I know was Tim Tam doesn't even have music.
Yeah.
And Facebook doesn't even know what music is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, TikTok has music.
That's not true.
Well, it has you can hear songs on it and stuff like that.
Like?
It's just songs. If you play a song, you can make a video to a song. It's kind of similar.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
You don't know what TikTok is?
I think it's that song by Kesha.
TikTok?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That is a song by Kesha.
TikTok on the clock,
All right.
but the party.
So you're really living in 2009. You're fully committed to being in 2009.
Yes.
That's incredible. Is there any way you would be pulled from MySpace? Is there anything that Instagram, TikTok could do to make you switch to using their app?
So I pretty much haven't logged out. So my house would have to catch on fire. The police raids would have to actually work.
Yeah.
I have been dragged from my home multiple times.
Wow, why?
My computer is a fire hazard.
What brand is it?
It's Adele.
It's Adele. Okay, got it.
It's the first of its kind. I know that the
How big is it? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's about you ever seen a carry-on suitcase?
Yeah, it's about that size. Okay.
Yeah. It can probably it's a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah.
I have to check it.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And but no, yeah. So the FBI was doing a drug raid on my neighbor, and in the middle of the night they were using a heat scanner, and they accidentally peeked into my house, and my computer was just off the charts. So they called the fire department, and they're like, "We gotta shut this down." And I said, "Over my dead body, come back with a warrant." And so I've had MySpace running. They said that my computer is basically like an open flame.
Wow.
Yeah.
When you sit next to it, can you feel it?
Yeah, I have second-degree burns on my lap.
Oh my God. You hold it in your lap?
Yeah, I'm infertile.
It's a desktop. Why did you need to hold that on your lap?
Well, it's so heavy, my desk collapsed.
Wow.
Yeah, but you can...
Beef.
There's nothing that Instagram could offer me that MySpace doesn't already have. Friends?
Well, you don't... Well, there's no friends on your MySpace account, right? They're just people you made up.
They are. Graham is not made up.
Do you know if she's still living, or you'd have no idea because just your MySpace tells you what?
Well, I mean, the Christmas cards did stop coming.
Yeah.
So...
Maybe we need to unpack that.
But I mean, I updated her status the other day.
So that means she's probably alive.
She's in Cancun, so I think she's fine.
Good. Oh, that's great. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Maybe that's actually a beautiful way to live. You don't have to say goodbye to any loved ones. You just make their lives incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. We love chatting about MySpace, and we're glad that you still enjoy it. But do be careful, okay?
Okay, I will be careful.
Be careful in front of the...
Can I share this link when it comes out?
Yeah. On your MySpace?
Do you have a MySpace?
No.
You should make one.
I don't know if I even can, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if they let you make new accounts anymore.
Yeah, you have to go on the Wayback Machine. It's a pretty convoluted process. Yeah.
Yes, but I will try. for you.
Okay, cool.
But please send me anything you post in there. Send me a link, and I'll try. I'll try to figure it out. I'll try to make it make sense to me.
Do you know how to code C++?
No.
Oh, then you're not going to be able to read by static.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's the part of the problem. So, yeah, I won't be able to, but I appreciate the effort.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming, Beef. And do you have anything you'd like to say to the creators of MySpace if they're watching right now?
Tom, message me back.
Come on, Tom.
I know.
This is your saving grace right here.
I'm getting some of your mail still.
Oh, my God. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Beef.
No problem.
Thank you so much for watching, listening, or even half listening if you're doing the dishes to the BCC Club with Sarah Schiller and Kendahl Andreth.
God, that guest was so weird.
Very bizarre.
So sad that I missed them.
Yeah, I wish you could have interviewed them because it was too sad. I wish I hadn't interviewed them. It was very sad. Very upsetting.
Yes. But if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. And also, you can listen to the BCC Club on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any place you get your podcasts. Make sure to rate us 5 stars, please.
And leave a review.
Yes, please. And we will talk to you guys next week.
Yes, can't wait.
Bye.
Bye.